Can I beat Calamity? The Calamity mod is known for its difficulty and crazy amount of new content. It's so difficult, in fact, I've never actually beaten it, even with my stupid amount of hours. That changes in the next 3 months, probably. This mod pack is huge, and I'll be beating every single boss, creating insane structures, and most importantly, I'll actually beat the mod pack. As a summoner, by the way. If you like that kind of stuff, a like and a sub would help out a bunch. Now, let's get into these 22 days of pre-hard mode. I start day 1 by activating Revengeance mode and opening up this starter bag, which fills up my inventory with some pretty useful loot like potions and our first summoner weapon. It also fills up my inventory with some loot I can't use. My one rule for this playthrough is I can only use summoner weapons. Everything else I have to sell or throw away or just not use at all. With that rule out of the way, I chop down some wood and build this pretty majestic base. I'll build a better one later. Right now I have to focus on exploring as I need to find some wolfram enemies. I think that's how you say them, but they drop some wolfram parts which are used to build our first summoner armor in the wolfram controller. No offense to the squirrel, but he's just not that good. Also, cactus armor. It's nothing crazy, but it's enough to let us travel a little further. In fact, I make it all the way to the snow biome and get stuck in this cabin. I don't make it out till day 2, where I travel all the way to the dungeon, farming a bunch of wolfram enemies along the way. I eventually die to them, but I end up getting a wolfram battery, one of the accessories I need. I continue to farm them till I have enough scraps and cores for my armor and weapons. The only problem is I don't have an anvil. I'm actually too weak to go mining, so instead, I wait for the merchant to arrive so I can buy the anvil off him. In the meantime, I go explore some sky islands, which give me a bunch of iron, which I could have used to make an anvil. But that just makes too much sense for someone like me, so instead, I die multiple times trying to discover more sky islands. The traveling merchant finally arrives on day 3, letting me purchase his anvil and craft my full set of wolfram armor and the wolfram controller, both of which are pretty good, the set giving me a full set bonus and the controllers doing some pretty good damage. I also mine a lot today, getting some life crystals and the web slinger. It's also a pretty good time to tell you I'm using the LuiAFK mod and a couple other mods for this playthrough. If you're curious, I'll leave a list of them down below. But back on track, day 4 I decide to explore more sky islands, getting a bunch of stuff like herbs and ores, most importantly herbs. If you don't know, potions are extremely important in Calamity since the bosses are a lot harder. I also used some shiverthorn to craft a frost blossom staff. I remember this being a lot better. Now it's just kinda slow. So to get a better weapon, I spent day 4 through 6 farming in the underground jungle. This was a horrible mistake as my summons are completely blind and can't attack, and I'm extremely squishy still. I end up dying so many times, it's not even funny. But why do this? Why suffer so much? And to that I say, whips, or more specifically the snapthorn. It's an extremely good whip, and it's also our only whip for quite a while, so we really need it. And I also wanted to get the spirit staff. It used to be really good, but I guess now it's okay. Anyways, after a lot of grinding and deaths later, I finally get both of them, and a bunch of other stuff like the magic mirror and the feral gloves, both of which are really good. And to top everything off, after so many deaths, I get a blood moon, which, yeah, I don't even try it. I end up going mining for some life crystals. By day 7, I'm still mining, and actually, I get a really good summoner weapon, the Stormjaw staff. Just take a look. Okay, they're pretty dumb, but trust me, they will come in handy really soon. Besides that, I get another accessory, the luxurious gift. It's basically like a summoner accessory. It summons like a little sword. I also got my last heart crystal, and seeing that I had almost a stack of desert fossils, I extract them, making this beautiful sound. Not only did I get to hear that, but I also got like 20 gold out of it. Day 9. If you're wondering what happened to day 8 and a good chunk of day 9, I accidentally left my PC on, and I didn't catch it till basically the end of day 9. So I just wasted like a day and a half. But I did use the little time I had from the day to craft some Hermes boots, which I don't care if it's considered cheating, I'm not spending another hour in the mines. And it's also our last accessory. In fact, it's the last item I need before I fight our first bosses. With that being said, I head to the Crimson Altar to craft 3 things: the suspicious looking eye, the slime crown, and the desert medallion. Summons for our first 3 bosses, which we need an arena for. Thankfully, the desert's pretty big, so I set some platforms down, drink some potions, and summon the desert surge. So I completely shredded through him, and I told you, those little guys would be extremely useful. So useful, in fact, I decided to fight him again and win. I ended up getting the brittle star staff and craft a full set of Victide armor. With all this new armor and weapons, I decided to fight the King Slime. And yeah, I completely just destroyed him. All that's left is the Eye of Cthulhu, so I wait till dark and summon him. Bad at all. Actually, I think I'm a little over prepared for him, so I decided to fight him 5 more times. Why 5 more times? I really wanted one of his drops, which I don't even end up using, but I do end up getting a bunch of gold from this, which I'll be using soon. With the King Slime, the Eye of Cthulhu, and the Desert Search defeated, I decided to rebuild my house. And rebuild I did, as I spent the next 3 days, no joke, rebuilding my house. I decided to go with like a castle theme, and I also put all the NPCs in the dungeon. I don't like the way they open doors. They literally slam those things, but it wasn't a complete waste. Halfway through the build, the acid raid event happened, which I got the Rusty Beacon prototype. It's a pretty good sentry summon, and I also got a really good NPC, the AlchemistNPC. She seems OP because she can sell you so many potions, but trust me, she will make you go in debt. These things are extremely expensive, and I only use her for like bosses, and that's it. I also set up my magic storage, which means no more random chests all over the place. It's really clean, but that's it for now. I spend the rest of day 14 building out an arena for Crabulon. He's not extremely hard, just pretty annoying if you don't have the correct arena size, but I decided to summon him. Crabulon drops 2 items I need, the Fungal Clump, a summon that heals you, and the Plasma Meat. It permanently increases your duration of rage by 1 second. Doesn't sound crazy, but anything helps. And that's it. The next boss is the Brain of Cthulhu. Honestly, if it wasn't for my summons, I would probably be dead. He doesn't drop anything too crazy. In fact, I turned some of his drops into the opposite Evil's World's drops to make the Vile Feeder a really good summoner weapon. I also ended up crafting the next pickaxe upgrade, and I made a Elevator as I need one for my next armor set, the Obsidian Armor. And while I was down there, I picked up some Hellstone for my Imp Staff. With all those new upgrades, I decided to fight the Giant Clam, my least favorite boss. He's like Crabulon, but even more annoying. You had to build a big arena, which I do, and while building it, I get the Voltic Jelly, a really important summoner accessory. I also get another accessory, which I forgot to mention about, the Spirit Glyph. I think that's how you say it. It's a little less important, but it's still pretty good. With the arena done, I decided to fight the Giant Clam, and he's a lot easier than I remember. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think I was remembering the hard mode version of him. He technically drops this NPC that sells me a pretty good sentry, and that's basically it. I was so disappointed with this fight, I decided to fight the Perforators. I quickly realized I am not ready for them, but after spending a fortune on potions, I fight him one more time. Yeah, he doesn't drop anything crazy either, but the next boss we'll fight does. Our next boss is the Queen Bee. Luckily, the jungle already has a pretty big arena, so all I have to do is put some lights down and some platforms and just summon her. Yeah, I ended up beating her 3 times, one of which she actually almost won, but unlike the other bosses, she drops a bunch of new loot. Starting with the armor set. The B armor is basically the perfect summoner armor for now. It gives these set bonuses, and I also get the Hornet Staff, our weapon for Skeletron. But before fighting Skeletron, I decided to expand my dungeon a bit. Some new NPCs I need will be coming soon, one of which is the Goblin Tinkerer, since a Goblin army decides to attack right in the middle of the expansion. Luckily, my summons are strong enough, so they kind of just take care of it. I also get to finish another 6 more rooms, and I decided to craft some aerial light bars as I'll be needing them soon. With all that done, night hits and I decide to fight Skeletron. So I build a pretty bad arena, half of which is in a sandstorm. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, I kind of forgot how much damage he does, and honestly, for some reason, I decided to like try to tank him, even though I'm a summoner, but I got destroyed. On day 19, I didn't do much. I farmed for the deer thing, the deer clop summon item. I also found the Goblin Tinkerer and crafted a new balloon accessory, and almost forgot to mention I bought the pygmy necklace from the witch doctor. With all that done, I decided to challenge Skeletron one more time and hopefully win this time. I somehow won, and he doesn't drop anything too crazy, but he does give us access to the dungeon. The dungeon has 3 items I need: a summoning staff, which is extremely important and hard to get, the spinal tap, our whip upgrade, and finally the bewitching table. I basically spent day 20 just farming these things, but they are extremely well worth it. On day 21, I decided to fight the slime god as they drop purified gel, which is a crucial crafting item. Yeah, those little skeleton dudes are amazing when they can actually hit the target. I fight the slime gods 2 more times as I need more purified gel, but once I'm done with that, I fight the deer clops, who, yeah, he just gets destroyed. That means there's only one more boss left: the wall of flesh. But before I can even fight him, I need to make a bunch of upgrades, starting with my armor. I upgraded to the stated gel armor, which gives me these stats and this set bonus. After that, I craft the Eye of the Night using 4 different summoning staffs, which honestly I regret doing. I should have sticked with the little skeleton dudes. I feel like they would have done a lot more damage, but you'll see that later. And to finish things off, I upgrade my accessories, which are these, by the way. They either give me some type of movement speed upgrade or some type of summon damage boost. Either way, they're all really useful. With all that done, I start to build the Wall of Flesh arena. Spoiler alert, it wasn't big enough at all. I also for some reason decided to try to start my pylon system and gave up pretty quickly as I realized that world generation will probably just screw me over somehow. Instead, I buy every single potion I think I'll need, which cost me a fortune, and head to the underworld and summon the Wall of Flesh. Yeah, somehow, even with my crappy arena, I won. And I'm pretty sure if I had better summons, like the little skeleton dude, I probably would have killed him even sooner. If you didn't notice, my summons were just not hitting him for some reason. I guess I wasn't close enough or something. Those little skeleton dudes probably would have done a better job. But all that's left to do now is to open this treasure bag and hopefully get a summoner weapon or the summoner emblem. Alright, let's see what we get, and yeah, that makes sense.